Hello, dear friends. Greetings from Ukraine and Uganda. We are happy to welcome you on Allatra TV Africa. With me today is hosting Edmund from Uganda. Hello, Edmund.
Yes, hello, Peter, our dear guest, and viewers logging in. It's quite amazing. Well, in this edition, we're going to be talking about the role of the architect in the creative society. And for those joining in for the very first time, the Creative Society, well, is a project that was launched by Allatra International, consisting of people coming in from more than 180 countries to conduct social surveys, more to do with how we envision a creative society, one where I would be happier, one where I would have communities working together as a whole.
We are here to present a way out of this consumer format, and this way is the creative society. Such a society where every person would feel happy, comfortable, and secure.
Mhm. Yes, amazing. And for today's edition, we have a guest coming in all the way from Uganda. She's actually an architect student from Makerere University, and she's going to be basically sharing with us about her view of the roles of the architect within the creative society. Back to you, Peter.
Yeah, and well, today we also continue testing the theory of six handshakes. According to it, all the people on the earth know each other through six or even less social connections. Proving this theory working perfectly in today's live conversation, our guest was invited by Marta Teze, who participated in one of our previous broadcasts. It's our pleasure to introduce our guest, Cindy Kyeyune. She is an architect student in Makerere University. She is also a coach in the mentorship club, and she is a partner in Couture Events Company. Cindy also runs a bakery business called Bake O'Clock. Welcome to our live conversation, and it's great pleasure to see you all today.
Thank you so much,
Ama-
Peter and Ed, for that introduction. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be
Amazing.
here.
Wow, amazing. Glad to have you over. And well, for those joining in, feel free to leave your comments within the YouTube chat section. Watch it, you can also share and invite friends to join in and see this broadcast or even other broadcasts to do with our creative society.
Yes, Cindy, can you please tell a little bit about yourself?
Okay, yes, I can do that. Well, to start with, thank you for the introduction, Edmund and Peter. Just a reminder, my name is Cindy Kyeyune. I'm 19 years old, currently at Makerere University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in architecture. But besides my education degree, I like taking part in business ventures. I love baking. Baking is a skill. I love baking. I love events management, and I love leadership. But above each and everything, I love helping people. Personally, as I was growing up, my mom always told me like it's more blessed to give than to receive. So I just find this joy and satisfaction in giving. Whatever I can give, it doesn't have to be monetary, even if it's just my time, my knowledge, my advice, basically anything that I can give. I just love giving it to people, be it my age mates, anyone that I meet you. That's basically about me. And I love architecture. I love it. I took it because I love it. And also it just interests me as to how people have this level of creativity to put all these things together. And I mean, it's human beings doing all this, human beings that are like us, but the beauty about life is God blessed us differently and in different ventures. And I feel like everybody needs to get a chance to be able to explore their skill, to be able to live happily and be able to reach their goals and all these possibilities. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Cindy, so much. It's really interesting, and you're so energy person. I like it. It's great.
Thank you. Thank
Wow,
you.
yeah. Wow, you're actually a person with quite a lot at your table. That's really quite interesting and inspiring. So, Cindy, I would like to ask you yet a second question, I could say. How do you envision a creative society? Say a society where people would be happier, where there is more freedom, where there is more of a sense of community living among different people. from all different nationalities. How do you specifically envision that kind of society? You can share your views and thoughts on that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Edman. I love your question. I really do love your question. How would I envision this society? Personally, I'm going to base my discussion on a few things. One, for us to see and appreciate the fact that we are all humans, yes? And I believe that humans are the most important people on this planet Earth. Correct me if I'm wrong. But one way or another, and everybody respects other people. In that, when I look at a brother or a sister, I see the gold in them. I don't just look for what I can get in them or how I can step on them. I'd like to see a society where we, instead of stepping down on people, we hold each other's hand. Yes. And personally, what I see is, I want us, like, what I see as a society that is really creative, what I see is that we should respect each other. And before putting anything above anything else, we should say that first, someone is a human before they're anything else. Before you're a mom, before you're a father, a brother, you're a human. And people should have this sense of security that I'm going to wake up and go to my job and I'm going to be paid. I'm going to be able to be happy as I'm on the roads. In that, people have this security that I'm safe. I can trust the police. I can trust my employee. I can trust my employer. I can trust my friends. For example, currently there's so much, should I call it hatred, in society that for Cindy to prosper, I believe I have to step on Edmund, which ideally shouldn't be the case. Cindy should say, how can Edmund, Peter, and I be able to work together? Because, for example, I love baking. Peter does photography really well, and Edmund's a very good motivational speaker. So instead of me trying to step on Edmund or step on Peter, how can I come together and say, oh my God, Edmund, how about you do a talk show for my business? Yeah? Peter, can you do my photography? In that we're all benefiting in this society and we're happy. Two, I'd like to see a society where things like essentials are really easy to get for everybody, that things like education, health, easy transport should be easy because, for example, you can find a mother that is, let me say, less fortunate than other people. And all she ever dreams about is to go to hospital and give her child nice medical care. But no, because she doesn't have a particular criteria, she can't make it. So these small things, and I believe that for us to get to this level, we have to be able to understand first what is a creative society and what what what's my role, what can I do, how can I be able to impact the society. And after understanding this, then we can move on and say, how can I bring my brother on board, how can I bring my sister on board. And it all begins with you, because I can't speak, I can't give off what I don't have. Yeah, until I understand what can I give off, what can I give, how can I benefit my society, how can I benefit my friends, my family. That's only when I'll be able to, we shall be able to bring up this society and make a better future and plan it for our kids and the generations to come after us. I hope I've answered your question, Edmund.
Yes, that's really, really amazing answer, Cindy. We have some breaks of internet on the beginning of your answer, but we get it. What do you mean? You mean that I just resume you that every person is a person, and as I understand, for me, we are moving like on one planet through the space, and this planet is so small, and we are here like we should help each other and seeing each other just human beings, not anything else. Seeing each other brother, sister, and we should understand that everyone can help us and we can help everyone. That's such an amazing answer. And I would like to ask Edmund if he don't mind what he thinks about creative society, how he envisioned it.
Wow, amazing. Actually, my view resonates with all your views, more to do with having a state of the world where actually people work together, where actually you can be able to help someone, say from a different country, different background, but you all have this kind of bond where you can actually be able to work together and work on different projects, and more to it, live happy as people, because all in all, we are all people. Yes, we even all on the same world, and we all have different gifts, so you can actually be able to help each other and match up to work on even different projects in life.
Yes, thank you, Edmund. Cindy, so an architect is the person who helps people to express their ideas, feelings for a house or design. Like, uh, and I would like to ask you, what inspired you to do an architecture? And we have some picture collage prepared for this answer, so you can, yeah, go.
The pictures that you can see currently are that's Zaha Hadid's work, and I really love that. I love her architecture. She died at 65, but you can see that the legacy she left. I remember sometime an interview she had, and someone asked her, "How does it feel to be a female architect?" And her answer really inspired me. And she said, "I can't tell you because I've never been a man." Why I bring this today is before I joined architecture, many people kept asking me, "Cindy, you're a girl. Why are you doing architecture? Why? It's a man's world." But after, I mean, this ideology of girls can do this because it's a man's thing. I don't get it, because as long as we're all blessed and gifted with the same capabilities, why don't give it a shot? And one thing I liked about her is as she kept on creating, she used to say that architecture, what I do currently isn't just to leave an impact of Zaha Hadid's work. She didn't design just to leave a print of her name on the earth, but she designed with a thought in mind. And she kept saying that as I design to leave something for the 21st century. I design to answer the questions and the problems of the current upcoming century and society. But Peter, to answer your question, I'd like to draw more to the I'd like to explain more about an architect. Well, an architect creates, in simple terms, an architect creates space, a safe space for the client. Yes? And architects work with human beings. So, with the question of how do architects, let me say, contribute to society, architect creates space. That means I can't create space for who I don't know. I can't create space until I understand my client to the depth of my client's needs. So the way I see it is an architect has to an architect has to understand their client properly. So until I understand my client, I can move on. So it really fascinates me because an architect deals with people. I don't deal with, some people think that we deal with structures, only blocks and bricks and poles, but no, an architect is close because before I put anything on paper, I understand my client. What do they need? What do they desire? How do they want to go about? Because an architect has the power to make you feel things. For example, when you enter a building, I make you feel a particular way because the lighting can just make you feel at peace. You can feel happy, you can feel calm because I've understood what you want to feel, and then I'm designing basing on how you feel. So basically, what drew me to this is I love designing. I love designing, and I love seeing people happy. So how can you put these two things together? An architect understands the client, works hand in hand with the client to make them happy. Simple as that. Because once I get your needs and I deliver to you what you need, then we're all happy. And also, what I see is that an architect, as they create this space, you're changing an environment. Yes? For example, in my country, Uganda, there are quite a number of slums, which really saddens me. But as you think about this creative society, probably if an architect would come up and say, I'm going to change this particular spot, probably bring about better living conditions or a better organization system. For example, a community-based organization system. In that, I know that there are 7 houses in this community and they can all live together in a probably put up low-cost housing, yes, whereby even the less fortunate can afford. So here one, you bring a spirit of unity and a spirit of understanding between the people in the community. So one way or another, everybody plays a part in this society. Everybody plays their part to see that the society becomes a better place for all of us to live in. Yes, thank you.
Wow, wow, that was really an amazing answer. Wow, wow, I'm really inspired. So, basically, can you also share with us more about more to do with actually the role of architects in this whole world we envision, this whole creative society we envision here? Because I believe they actually play a very, very crucial role, basing from the way you've actually brought it out in regards to your passion, in regards to your love for design and making people happy. What do you think is the role of architects in the creative society?
Okay, thank you, Edmund. Personally, my understanding of the architect's role is one, as architects design, Zaha Hadid always says that form follows function. Instead of an architect looking for, I need to make an outstanding building because I want everyone to pass and say that's my building, that's Sing's building. No, as form follows function, because what's the building going to be used for should be the first thing in your mind, and who's going to use it. Yes, as I said earlier, we design for human beings, not for animals, not for tables or chairs. We design for human beings. So as form follows function, what should be in an architect's mind should be how best can I meet this client's needs. So ideally, one my role as an architect would be to understand my client. Yes, and after understanding my client, already by understanding them, I'm creating an interaction and a connection with them. That's networking. Two, I believe that if architects came together and said we're tired of this current situation, for example, I'll keep basing on Uganda, my country, because I'm well versed with Uganda. For example, if architects for just 1 minute put aside the thought of money making and saying I need to make a name and said how can we change the living conditions in this country? Because I believe, for example, look at a child living on the streets or in the slums. Just change one small thing in their life. Give them a home. Give them a home. And, as you sleep, for example, sleeping in a new comfortable bed, even as your mind keeps getting better and you keep thinking about other things. So as you help one person, you're able to reach out to someone else. So I believe as an architect, as you design, we should go far beyond what am I getting out of it, far beyond how is it going to look, far beyond how do I gain from it, but think about the end user and think about how will they interact with this, how will it affect them as they use it, how will it impact on their lives, because as I said, architects create space. So I would like to look at this as, let me say, let us first leave the point of architects create buildings, yes? Architects create space. So I would, let us change the point of, look at it as Edmund, you're an architect in your own way, and so are you, Peter. So as architects create space, what have we done as individuals to create a comfortable space for our brothers and sisters? Because if an architect creates space, what space have you made to make your brother's life comfortable? So, besides just designing buildings and structures and all these fabulous things, everybody, one way or another, is an architect because architects create space. How have you made this space comfortable for other people? What have you done to see that everybody is happy? What have you done to see that you help the person in need? What are we doing to see that everybody is satisfied, that people that are being oppressed are being helped out? How are we seeing it? So I believe that besides the profession of an architect, everybody is an architect one way or another. For example, look at the doctors. Doctors treat. Yes, doctors treat. But imagine going to a hostile doctor, because I believe many things begin in the mind. It will slow the time of my healing because I'm not feeling cared for. But if everybody took time and said, besides my profession, I have something else that I have to add to the society. What is it? And how can I add it? So besides our professions, everybody's an architect because we create space. Because even as you're at home, at school, at church, in town, you're in a space, you're in an environment, and you're interacting with people left, right, and center. Do you know them? Maybe. Do you love them? You should. Because we're all humans and we all have a purpose on this earth. I hope I've answered your question, Edmund.
Yes, you have answered it exceedingly above. Wow, this has That was a really, really, for the first time, I've actually now found out that I'm actually an architect within my different space that I actually have to work with it to deliver and make people feel comfortable with it. Wow. I pass it to you, Peter.
Yes, thank you, Cindy. And I'm seeing to your answers that you are understanding what is the creative society. The creative society is the society which starts from each of us. Like, and if every one of us put the small impact in this, we will live in totally different world. And it's really amazing that we are gathered here today with you. And it's really inspiring to hear these words what you're saying. So thank you for your amazing thoughts and feelings and that you're sharing with us. And I like to add that in order to build a creative society, a world in which every person will feel comfortable, we should be united by one goal. So the basis of the goal are 8 foundations that are described in the article. The 8 foundations of the creative society and the stages of its construction. Can I ask to put it on screen, please? The 8 foundations was published on the 18th of May 2020 on website Allatraunites. So they are human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency and openness of information for all, the creative ideology, development of personality, justice and equality, safe governing society. So those are 8 pillars uh, the creative society stands on.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you, Peter. And well, in line with today's edition, I would like us to look more towards the third foundation, which is human safety. As architects, it is quite vital that you take keen interest into the decisions you make because people's lives actually depend on these decisions. For example, when designing of maybe a building or maybe a particular kind of artifact, you could say. And as you can see from your screen, well, the third foundation, which is human safety, in this we look more to do that actually no one and nothing in society has the right to create threats to the life and freedom of a human. Every human is guaranteed free provision of essential life necessities, including food, housing, medical care, education, and full social security. Scientific, industrial, and technological activities of the society should be aimed exclusively at improving the quality of human life. More to it within this foundation, we take it that actually a guaranteed economic stability concerning no inflation and crises, stable, same prices around the world, for example, for products. We look at also having a single monetary unit and a fixed minimal a fixed minimal taxation, or what actually someone would prefer to having the liberty of not having to pay tax. And the security of human and society from any kind of threats is ensured by the unified global service to the deals with emergency situation. So this is what we basically tend to look at more within this particular fragment of human safety.
So, Cindy, maybe you would like to choose one more foundation and comment on it, please. Can we see all the foundation on the screen?
They're not okay, yes. Personally, I'd like to. Should I pick only one, or can I pick two? Okay.
Go for it.
I'd like to talk about one. The fourth factor: transparency and openness for all, and then justice and equality. Yes. Okay. Let me start with transparency and openness for information for all. As we can see, it talks about every human having the right to receive reliable information about the movement and distribution of public funds, and everyone should have access to information about the status of their society and the decisions. This really struck a chord with me because currently we're living in an era where information is just being slapped in our faces. Because once you go to Google and just type in whatever you want to know, boom, you have it. But then we can agree that some things are sort of, should I call it sugar coated? Some things are hidden that society can't be able to access them. But again, we can't forget the underprivileged that can't have access to Google or internet, and but they're also human beings. So I feel like this is very, very crucial because, as someone once said, that it's very easy to govern a poor country and an uneducated country. So I believe by equipping our brothers and sisters with this information, because it helps them with their personal development, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So as we keep building on ourselves and as we keep learning new things every single day, as we keep building on our knowledge bank, I was reading a book called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and he spoke about the personal development account. In this account, I could call it a personal bank.
Oh, seems that we lost uh, Cindy for a few seconds. I think she will join in 1 second, but as we see that, yeah, she's here. She's back. I see her. Can we put her on screen, please? Yeah, here we go. Hello.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. As I was talking about the information, I believe
Yeah, yeah.
bottom line, once we avail information to everyone, it will better the society as a whole because knowledge is power. And once we keep depositing this knowledge in our personal development accounts, it will be able to uplift us as human beings as we hold on other people to be able to uplift themselves. So I believe it's really a crucial pillar to create the creative society. And the second, I picked justice for all, yes, and equality. I would like to look at the current situation where I'm going to talk about. Okay, let me first help you understand what it's about. It talks about all resources belonging to humans and are fairly distributed. But I'm going to want to draw this to a more liberal and an easier way to understand it. Let's look at it. When someone says justice, we all understand what justice is. What I'd like to see personally is, if I go to court with my case, I don't have to be someone, I don't have to be a minister or anything else for me to be heard. I feel like in this society, I should be able to feel at peace and know that I'm going to present my case to the judge and I'm going to be fairly treated and fairly accounted for. For example, I'm going to draw more to sexual harassment. As you interact with many of the people that have been harassed sexually, when you ask them and they just tell you that I didn't report because I was scared of being victimized, I was scared of being shunned, I was scared because I know that when I go to the courtroom, they're going to put the blame on me. So what I understand by this is, before we look at anything else, we should say, yes, this person is a human. This person belongs to this society, and we should love them as our own. And we should have the security of, yes, I'm going to be heard. I'm going to be understood. We're all going to win in this situation because I should feel secure in my society to be able to grow. Yes? Because if I can't feel secure, I can't grow. And nothing can change unless we begin trusting the systems. Because if a civilian can't trust their systems, how will the nation grow? Because I'll know that even if I go to the right path, I won't be helped. That's why we find things like embezzlement, corruption, theft, misunderstandings, and murder, because people know that once I go through the right channels, I won't make it in life. Once I do things the right way, I can't become somebody because I'm scared of, because I understand my system well. I know that unless the justice system is rectified, unless all of us can have equal rights, and I know that if I commit a crime, I have to pay for it. If someone big or someone small commits a crime, they should pay for it, because unless we begin trusting our systems, we can't be able to have a peaceful and harmonious society. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. It's great that you are um, that you are saying what you are saying because that means that you're already thinking about it, and we just one small step to achieve it. And what I can say about your answer is the best things will not happen with the people because the first foundation is the human life, and nothing is higher than that, you know. And every
Yes.
human is the human, and every human should be treated like a human. And I believe that we can do it. And with the information, the spare what you were talking the previous, if we will have more people which are getting to know this information, what we are talking about now, then everything going to be uh, real. And it's already happening. So it's amazing. And I have one question more to ask you. What do you think
Yes.
is the best way to inform people about such an initiative as the Creative Society project?
Pardon?
What do
Peter,
you think?
I didn't get the last part of your question.
Oh, sorry. So I will repeat it, okay? Okay. What do you think
Yes,
is the
please.
best way to inform people about such an initiative as the Creative Society project?
Okay. Thank you for that question. What I think would be the best way is one to speak. Speak up. Okay, I know it sounds obvious, but speak up. Because, for example, the way I got to hear about this initiative was through a friend. Tezzy Martha spoke to me about it. So, for example, as I said, it starts with you. So if I start doing it, after here, I go and tell a friend about it, and Edmund does the same. You see, we haven't invested any money yet into spreading the word, but it's already happening. So one, speak. I can tell a friend who tell a friend, and once we keep knowing this information, it will be helpful to us. And then two, probably we could continue holding conferences like this, because I believe as someone that could be viewing this maybe just came to see a friend or something of the sort, but they've picked something from it and will be able to tell someone else. So I believe these online talks are also good for us to be able to spread information. And also, I believe so much in reading. I was a very terrible reader before I joined the mentorship class, but I was taught to read from the mentorship class. So I believe availing such documents to the public would be very helpful, because if I can't access the internet, but I can access hard copies of this information, then I'm good to go. So if I can't get to internet, we can provide, let me say, books and documents for free, because as we keep doing this, people are going to be building themselves and getting all these ideas to become better. And also we could also put it into the systems, change the systems for the betterment. For example, as we begin trusting our systems, we become more courageous, if I may call it that. We feel more content with ourselves, which brings about this confidence in the society. So we could also go through the systems, for example, the governments and the people that are in high seats of power, to be able to rain down this information on the public. Yeah, I think those are the most effective ways for us to bring such information to people. And also the media is really good, because people, for example, the youth spend so much time on their phones, on TV and all these things. So probably could also be another good channel to reach out to the people. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Cindy, for that particular view in line with how we can actually be able to inform many people about this program and get them on board. So my last question, I could say the last question for you today is, well, would you love to live in a creative society?
Definitely I would. I would, because why I would love to live in one is because I can't say I've tasted it before, but I've been able to live around like-minded people. For example, I'll keep referring to this. At the mentorship class, I was surrounded with all these people that have so much knowledge. It came in my life at a point where I just finished my S6, and basically my mind was, I'm going to rest before I join university. But as I went through this program, I was able to discover so many things about myself and about the world today that I never knew. For example, look at things like everybody has a gifting. Yes, because sometimes we live life knowing that only the gifted are gifted, but you can train and get a skill. And why I'd like to see a society like that, because I've envisioned it before and I've been with people that have loved to see it come to pass. So why I say yes is because dreaming is good. Dreaming is really good. And as we keep dreaming about society, I believe we need to start acting upon it. And through this class, I learned that nothing comes to pass unless you act upon it. And I believe what's happening today is really amazing because we're acting upon it, because information is key. And by doing this, we're informing people about the creative society. And two is everybody loves to be happy. I love to be happy. I'm a very happy person. So the society will bring about peace and harmony and connection because we are humans and we love each other. We should be able to connect and just enjoy life and be able to be happy together and build one another. So yes, I would love to be in a creative society.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Cindy. Well, I too would love to be part of the Creative Society. I believe also Peter would love to be part of it. And it's quite amazing how we're getting to connect and we all have these similar views. And well, to the viewers who are watching this in, we hope you have loved it. And if you have loved it just as I have, you can actually go on to comment within the chat section. You can even like, share, and invite as many friends in your networks. We're mainly using two hashtags for this. One is hashtag Allatraunites, and then the other is hashtag Creative Society. More to it, in case you want to join and be part of this whole international movement of the Creative Society, you can go on to the official website, which is allatraunites.com. And once you actually reach the website, you can go and tap the red button up, join us, and upon tapping that button, a menu will come up where you can actually be able to feed in your details within a small essay, and after that, submit. Yes, and well, more to it, you can also move around the website and see all the other information to do with Alatra International. You can actually be able to read about the 8 foundations that we have presented about, and even check out past YouTube video sessions for all these different interviews we are currently running on the globe. Thank you very much for joining in. Back to you, Peter.
Yes, thank you, Edmund. Thank you, Cindy, for such amazing broadcast today. And I would say that we already doing it, and you can also participate in conversation on Allatra Radio, or send to us your ideas of creative society on the mail. You will find out below this video. Also join the Six Handshakes initiative. After all, the more people find out about the possibility of creative society, the faster we can achieve it. Thank you all very much and see you soon on Allatra TV Africa.